A horse that is just dull and you put leg on and they just kind of lean against the leg, typically, not always, but typically, they don't top out as high because they just don't care. They don't have that incentive to do that extra to get the reward of whatever your leg or your hand is doing. This horse came in a couple days ago, and we've got a few rides on him, done a little bit of groundwork with him. He's the kind of horse that does a lot of snorting and looking and acting scared, and the kind of horse that you could easily interpret as being scared, but he's not scared. And I get a lot of beginner riders end up with a horse like this, and it's hard to determine whether the horse is actually scared or just kind of a looky, blowy, reactive kind of horse, which is what he is. He's not really scared, and when we give him something to do, he relaxes and settles right in. That's really common for real heavy cowbred kind of horses. Not all horses are that way, but certain bloodlines are. And when you have one that's that way, one of the worst things you can do is drop back and act like they're scared and start sacking them out and doing that kind of work, because then that just reinforces to them, yes, there is something to be afraid of. With a horse like him that's not really scared, the best thing to do is to just put them to work. And it's mainly our experience working with these kind of horses how we can tell the difference. He almost relaxed when I got on. He did relax. He's softer now. His body is softer now than he was before I got on. That's typical for this kind of cowbred horse. It's also typical for horses that really need a leader. And I see horses, and people call me with questions with horses all the time, and the horse is a good horse, but the owner isn't being leader enough for the horse, and because of that, the horse is scared of everything because he needs a leader. As soon as I got on this horse's back, he got better than he did leading him out. He needs a leader. So what we do is we put him to work. As you see, I'm going to walk him around. I'm not going to ask him to do a whole lot right here for the video. He needs to get softer through his body, softer in his neck. So by asking him to tip his nose and just walk, that's the beginning of what we need to accomplish. See, he's wanting to look at the camera. And that little bit right there, wanting to stop and look at the camera, if I let him stop, that stiffness is going to come back. That worry is going to come back. But because I just kind of held my hand, shook my legs a little bit, and said, keep going, then his mind came right back on me. He said, okay, you're the leader, I'm okay. Keep going. And that's real important with this kind of horse. Some horses, it really don't matter. Some horses that are more confident, you don't have to be as much of a leader. And until you've worked several of different types of horses, you don't really understand the difference. I know people that have had horses all their life, and all of a sudden, for the first time, they have a horse like this, and they don't realize how different that is. My mission for my training program is to try to make every horse as good as they can be. If you want to talk to me about sending a horse to me for training, send me a message and we'll talk about it. So So basically what I'm doing is I'm just taking his head, just pointing his head, asking him to go forward. I want him to soften and relax. What we're building towards, this horse has had a lot of riding time. I can tell he's very broke. But what we're working towards is some ranch stuff, and to score good at that ranch stuff, he needs to be more relaxed, a little bit softer, a little more confident. So what I have to do, by tipping his nose just to the left and just asking him to walk, I'm building his confidence in me, and I'm also getting him to relax. He's relaxing because I'm being his leader, but he's also relaxing because I'm giving him something to do, and he understands what that something is. You watch his ears is constantly flicking around. They'll look forward at something, they'll come back to me. He's looking for that leader. He'll see something, and then his ears are like, what do you want me to do about it? What do you want me to do? And that's what those ears flicking back are telling me. What do you want me to do? This little step right here, it seems insignificant if you look at it and say, well, all you're doing is walking circles. But this little step right here is really important to get not just the mind right, but get the picture that the judge is going to be looking for when he goes to show in ranch classes. If he goes in to show, and even if he gets all the obstacles done, let's say we're showing in ranch riding, and he gets all the maneuvers, all the gaits, all his transitions are all good, but if his body is stiff and he looks resistant and he looks worried, that's going to affect our score. I just got back from showing Trigger at the Mustang Heritage Spectacular in Tennessee, and one of the videos that I posted of him, I posted a video of our warm-up, the beginning of the warm-up, and I told you to watch his tail, and then I posted the end of that warm-up and told you to watch his tail. And in that video, you could see how much more relaxed his tail was at the end than it was in the beginning. And even though that kind of thing seems really small, it has a big impact on the look of the horse, and it also has a big impact on whether the horse is going to do what you ask him to do. That was the first big show that I took Trigger to, and the first class we missed both of our leads because he was stiff through the body, exactly what this horse is doing. But as I rode him and he relaxed, then we got all our leads, we got all our transitions. It was really good after that. So if I skip this part with him and we just go on to some more difficult work, more higher degree of difficulty, harder maneuvers, I'm going to have that stiff body, and then I'm going to be setting him up for failure, and I'm going to, in a lot of cases, that ends up with the trainer getting frustrated, getting harder on the horse than they need to be, when all they needed to do was give the horse a chance to just kind of relax. Now look how his head is starting to relax, he's starting to settle. Now we're to the point where we can get something accomplished. Another ride or two like this, I'm going to get this a lot quicker. This is, got a fly bothering him. This is really an important step that's going to determine at what level he tops out at. If I skip this, he's not going to top out as near a high level. Where's the fly? All right, let's walk. So let's start a little bit of leg cues, moving him over, some leg yields. I want to teach him the leg yields, but in the process of me doing them, watch his expression. Let's see what kind of expression he gives me, because I need to train him to do everything in a way that's going to score good. Just the fact that he doesn't isn't good enough. he needs to do it in a way that's going to score good. So a little bit of left leg, left leg, left leg, left leg. There, right there. He kind of brought his head up, inverted. That was when I touched him with the spur. Let's do that again. Left leg, left leg. See how he's wanting to slow down? He's slowing down because he's getting stiff right here. He's getting stiff on this side of his body. He's wanting to push back into the spur. I want to keep his feet moving. There, that was actually nice movement off of the spur. He still got stiff. Head was still up. It wasn't down and relaxed. But he kept moving forward. Let's go work the other side. Put leg on and he kind of goosed forward a little bit. See, he's trying to push forward. I'm just trying to slow him down a little bit. Now he's pushing into my leg. That's why we're getting smaller. Slow down his forward. I need to get something that I can reward there. Now I can reward. Good boy. Keep walking. Keep walking. Let's get one more off of my right leg. Just the point of getting the movement is not enough. You have to get the movement in a way that's going to score good. Right leg, right leg. There. You have to get the movement in a way that's going to score good. And right there you saw he started really fussing about it. And we're going to have to work through some of that. But he also needs to just kind of relax to other things. There, that wasn't too bad. A little bit better, and you notice as soon as I took my leg off, his head went down. The legs is one of the things that he worries about, and it doesn't mean that anything was done wrong with him. Doesn't mean he was abused or kicked on with spurs, none of that. Mac, my horse, is very similar to this, and I know he wasn't done anything like that. That's just, some horses are just like that. There we go. And some horses that are like that, Hank is a really good example. They end up topped out at a real high level because they really want you to take the leg off. And because they really want you to take the leg off, they'll try harder to do whatever they have to do for you to take the leg off. A horse that is just dull and you put leg on and they just kind of lean against the leg, typically, not always, but typically, they don't top out as high because they just don't care. They don't have that incentive to do that extra to get the reward of whatever your leg or your hand is doing. So I'm gonna end the video here. This is Rooster. This is the first video I've done with him, but there'll be more, and I'll have a link up here to his playlist on YouTube. Until next time, thank you for watching. This is very subtle, and I've talked about that in other videos. Like some of the videos that a lot of people put out, the horse is doing a really big reaction. Well, that's good for getting views, but that horse did a smaller reaction that the trainer should have recognized before and not let it get to the big reaction.
Maybe good for his channel, but
not really good for the horse. People don't understand that. I think most of my viewers understand that, but in general they don't.